It's hot and humid still.
Yeah.
Middle of September.
We already got 6 lawns done, right?
5, 6, and then Papa Zig is on to the next 2 because we're aerating. We have 4 aerating jobs to do today. This is one of them. We cut it a little bit lower, just 1 click on the walker deck, because this one's getting aerated and overseeded. So we want to get it cut first, of course. Have the grass a little bit shorter, so when we do drop the seed in, it'll make its way to the dirt. So if you want seed to dirt contact, you don't want it just laying on top of the grass. I mean, yeah, it'll make its way down by the rain and everything, but you don't just want it laying there. Birds can eat it and stuff like that, so we cut it a little bit lower. He's on to the next one, which is just aerating. It's a large property with no seed, and we prefer to do the ones with just aerating, honestly, because of how much was this?
This was $250.
$250.
$260.
Contractor's price, it's about $200
yeah.
for the bag. We've had very good luck. The next property we're doing, we did the front yard. It was like all lily pads and weird growing weeds last year, and I did topsoil, and I've been using this seed for a long time. Jonathan Green, Black Beauty. It's a mixture of all different types of seeds. So if, say, it's predominantly Kentucky bluegrass, that's what's going to take in this property. If it's specifically fescue in a mix, that's what's probably going to take, and the other seeds won't make it. But that's why there's a mix. If you get a bag with just one specific seed and it doesn't take, well, you just wasted all your money. So this is what we use. This is what we recommend. We've been using it. Our properties do look like this after we seed them on topsoil jobs, if the customer does a good job with watering. But seed's expensive. We're not really making a whole lot of money on seeding properties. I think $50 maybe on some small properties to seed it. That includes us going to pick up the seed. Otherwise, they're not going to sign up, but for the seeding part of it. So if we can get another $50 out of each client, and it should be a lot more than that. But this machine's 2-in-1, so we're just turning the switch on to make an extra couple bucks. So let's cut this bag open. This is our first time using it on a client's house. We know it works well. We've aerated my house probably 5 times in all different spots, but we have 2 seed jobs today and 2 just aerated. They're all aerating, but only 2 of them are seed, so this should be more than enough for the day. We might need a little bit more. I'd rather go a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier with the seed. That's some leftover from like a week or 2 ago. You don't want to load up the hopper here, like on the client's like front sidewalk, because you're going to spill some seeds like we just did here. These are going to go on the road and get washed into the grass. We don't want to let them fall into like the sidewalk, the driveway. We're going to blow it off. It's going to end up in like a mulch bed or like a river rock bed because it's going to grow. That's just common sense there, but make sure you do that in a good spot. You guys have seen this in the videos. If you're new, this is the brand new Scag Aerstorm. It is a stand-up aerator with the front drop spreader. Which is a good thing. We don't want it to broadcast everywhere since it's specifically out front, because we don't want it flinging into like that wall, for example, onto driveways. It drops right into where you're aerating. I don't know. People said you should have bought the Stinger. You should have looked at the Stinger. We did. The Stinger spreader's up here. I honestly don't see this going wrong at all. This is our little chart here. Speed forward 6 miles an hour, which I'm assuming is almost as fast as it goes.
Yeah.
Not gonna be going that fast, but bluegrass, fine fescue. We're gonna have a mixture of all these. So we're gonna go with this this chart here where it's showing pounds per 1,000 square feet. 2.5.
Yeah.
I don't want to break it. Some of the clients we saw that have their initial, we're a little bit late to the game here, but they have their fertilizer guy they signed up with for the whole year back in February, March. They did their aerations the last week in August, which absolutely sucks and they're getting seed, and it was 85, 90 degrees last week with not much rain, and the seed's not going to make it, so they're wasting their money on that. So they're going to mostly sign up for it with us next year, because we're waiting until it's cooler out. It's like 70 degrees. It's a little bit humid, but it's the middle of September. These companies are knocking them out in the beginning of middle to late August, and the ground is dry and it's not really going to benefit it. We're going to go a little bit heavier with the seed, but They were also only pulling out like an inch plug, half an inch. You want to get as much as you can. We're not going to go for 4-inch plugs. This property, this whole area, North Jersey, is just all rocky. Depends on the property. We're going to go for 2.5, right in the middle. We don't want to break the machine if we hit any rocks underground, but 2 to 3 is the general rule. Let's get this going here. Just what we see here. 26 hours. Have the greenest lawn on the whole earth because I think I just used most of the bag.
Yeah.
I used a lot of seed. Half?
More than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to use that much. I was getting a feel for the button.
Yeah.
How it worked. Figured out obviously it's easier to turn the switch off in between turns.
Yeah.
And when you get into spots, since the spreader's out front, you're going to turn it off on your way back and then put the aerator down to finish the turn and then turn the seeder back on. We just used
3/4 of a bag.
30 pounds. We were only supposed to use 10 or 5. I mean, say we used $100 and something in grass seed. I think that's what we charged.
Oh well. Well, it's the first one.
Yeah, it was the first one. The next one's just aerating. That's why, I don't know. But
and this, I feel like this is a major benefit of it being out front because you can go up and forward
and
into crevices, whereas
then at the same time you have to, if you can't aerate into the corner.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you can. You have to take it a couple different ways.
Yeah.
But the next one's just aerating. We're going to zip along that quick. I was just going nice and slow. It's feeling out the machine.
Here's the first one in the books ever.
Yeah, I mean, so the wheels are 50.5 inches wide, but the actual tines are 30, right? Or is it 36?
I think it's 30.
I think it's 32. So I'm lining up the black covers on each side of the tines. Well, the right side, the way I just did that one, is lining it up with the tire track. So, or not the tire track, the inside of the tire track. Making sure that I get the 30 inches of the tines each time, and we don't miss any valuable dirt to aerate, or soil, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I went very heavy with the spreader. I felt like it wasn't coming out, but you don't even see it. It's in the front. And it's coming out. It's dropping very nicely right into the spot, and they're going to have a very nice lawn. They already do, but they're going to have some spots that get filled in very nice.
Yeah. so funny when you use the machine. It's just like almost like nothing's happening.
That's
there's
why
no...
I was checking, because we're new to this. We're new to the machine, and I'm checking behind me to make sure we're actually doing tines, because it's just an engine running.
Yeah.
There's no clutch. There's no blades on.
It's just the weight of the machine, right? And it's just pulling its weight.
Well, I want to check something. I want to see what we charge for grass seed on that one. We definitely didn't make anything. We broke even on the seed, but now we know for the next ones. It's going to take trial and error with anything you do in the business. The first time you might use too much, you might get screwed over on the price. He's at $125 for grass seed, and we used about half the bag. So we probably only made 20 bucks putting the seed in. I mean, it is what it is, but the aerating part came out great. It was very profitable on that end, but the seed was not profitable. We'll make the next one make up for it, right?
Yeah, this one's no seed, right?
No seed. You'll get some footage. You don't have to film.
Yeah, I won't film the whole thing. I'll just maybe time lapse some of it.
Yeah,
we'll piece it together.
It's a big property. It's almost an acre. 0.85 acres, I think it was when we measured it out. Which Yard Book is the greatest thing for that. You can use Google Satellite, Google Satellite, which is built into Yard Book. Whatever billing service you have might have that. You can literally just pick points from an aerial view and measure it. Here he is. He got the property already cut, so I'm going to zip right over and start aerating it. Turn around first. One guy still watches us, but he said, dude, this trailer's way too small. You need a bigger trailer. It's right there. Yeah. This is a tight squeeze, but it works. It's a good second trailer. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the cedar off so we can see that we can see better.
All right.
We don't have to do this. I just want to do it so when we're filming we can see the front of the machine.
Yeah.
There's a little quick
turn knob
here, and then the rest are, there's 2 clips and a plug. 2 plugs, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll just pull it off for this one.
Where's the clip?
2 plugs. 1, 2.
That's for your wires, and then 2 pins.
Just gotta watch the muffler. There's absolutely no need to take this off. I just want to see what it feels like to do it without it. Gotta come straight up at the same time. Just like that, nice and easy. That was it.
So that's your cedar right there. And this is what the front of the machine looks like.
Yep. So, this property, front and back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go over, put it at. I could feel some rocks I was hitting.
Yeah, I could see it.
I dropped it to 2 inches. How rocky it is.
This is the backyard. It's pretty big. It's a fairly good sized property on our list. You think about it, it's like a 30-inch push mower if you're going over back and forth because it's only 30 inches long with the aerator. So it takes quite a bit of time. You got to charge appropriately, of course. which we're working on our pricing and stuff like that, but they got some good grass at this property.
You want my reaction? My thoughts?
Yeah.
I think it's set up perfectly. The aerator itself. Maybe I'll get a little bit more used to the seeder. We only use it on the one property. But in terms of aerating, it's very, very easy to use. I feel like I've been doing it for years with this machine, and it just came out last year. I found out that, they mentioned it, if you turn with the tines down, it'll rip the grass up. I did that twice so far. I gave it a little bit of a turn, and didn't put the pedal down enough to lift the tines up right away, and you saw a couple little divots where we just pushed it back. But aside from that, we're pulling out 2 to 2.5 inch. This one was really rocky, so I dropped it to 2 inch. 2 inch plugs that we're pulling out, and it's weird because Papa Zig just cut that with the 61 inch Scag, and this is a 30 inch aerator, the width of it. So but the wheels are almost the same length, I'd say, right? Width?
Yeah.
So it looks like you're basically cutting a lawn 2 times in slow motion. It's what it feels like. But I'm making sure I'm getting 2 swipes out of one of his stripes for where he cut, to get 30 inches out of the 60 to 61 inch cut. I'm just making sure that you can see, if you were doing like a dirt area that's not grass, where if you miss, if you don't overlap, you'll see like a line about this wide down the middle. I just did that to screw around in the back in the woods a little bit where it was just topsoil. There's no grass, it's all shade. I just ran it just to line up a couple different things. Like I said, I was lining up the black covers of the actual tines themselves. If you go with the tires, once again, you're gonna have a big giant gap down the middle. 2 out of 4 done. That one took 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's the biggest one now.
Yeah. Once again, it's way more profitable than lawn maintenance, let me tell you that. Standing on the thing and letting the machine do the work for you.
Here we are. We are at probably one of our nicest properties. The lawn here is impeccable. It's in absolutely amazing shape. Definitely one of the nicest lawns we've cut, because the guy takes good care of it. He really takes pride in his lawn. So we signed up for, of course, aerating and overseeding for his property. And he's religious with the sprinkler system, so want to make sure that that does not get damaged during the aeration process. You can see one of the flags right there. We have our clients mark them out, and this is the case where we got some sprinklers. We don't want to damage them. So he marked out all of his sprinklers on the property with just little red flags. Gives a heads up where they're at, and we won't go near them. But yeah, this will be extremely beneficial. Make this lawn even better than it is already. I give this an easy 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. This is a beautiful lawn. But this will, of course, help with the seeding, overseeding, and the aerating, and help the soil compaction And it's September 12th, perfect time to do it. There's another bag of seed.
I figured it out.
What, the machine?
That property's about 3 times the size of the first one we did with seed, and we almost used a whole hopper full of seed at the first one. That's because I wasn't turning it off when I was turning, and I was burning through it. Believe it or not, a lot more than you'd think. So we got one more in town here, and it's right up the street. While we're cutting these 5 that are on the street, I think he's in the backyard over there. This one's no seed, so I mean we only used half of the hopper, I think, not if that, which is the right amount. We just went way too heavy on the first. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, 22, 24, 26. We did 28 with Dad. He's going to do 4 more.
We did four aerating jobs.
We are back home now. We are wrapping this video up. What do you think, Jim? You didn't use it yet.
I didn't use it. I've only used it here.
Yeah. What do you think of it from a filming standpoint, from a result standpoint of seeing the actual cores come out of the ground?
I think it's good. I think it does the job that it says it's going to do, and the seeder seems like it's going to work. And honestly, the whole machine, just even from the seeder to the back of it, it seems durable. Like, it seems like you could crash that seeder into a wall and still would be good. It just seems like they built the framing of it so nicely.
Yeah, I like the seeder. It's almost like, reminds you of like hunting. You hang like a
deer feeder or something.
Like a feeder from the thing, and it drops down from the, I mean, those are broadcast. They broadcast electronically. But the dropping, I was almost tempted like we were going to get it into the mulch beds or into a spot we didn't want to, but it literally just trickles straight down.
Yeah.
We didn't worry about anything going in the driveway or in the mulch bed. We only did 4 jobs. It only has 2 hours on the machine. We put 1 hour and 45 minutes on it today. We hit a couple stumps, roots underground. We hit some rocks, and everything looks perfect. It's very durable. Scag did their homework, and I think they built this machine right. We'll know more as the years go on when we use it more and more and more and put a lot more hours on it. But from a day 1 standpoint of using it, you could tell from the first job I used 25 pounds of seed. We were supposed to use like 3.
Yeah.
To the rest of the day, we
figured it out.
Yeah.
But that's
the only thing that stinks is the 4-foot gate.
Yep, that stinks.
We have 2 more jobs coming up that we already bid and have signed contracts for 4-foot gates. We think we're going to put like a 6-inch pipe underneath it and take the wheels off and slide the machine through and put the wheels back on just to make the money at the properties because they're priced right and they're very profitable. Why don't you say your final closing thoughts, Jim? I think everything was great.
I think Haley had a good day at work too.
Yeah.
But yeah, my final thoughts on it, I think, like I said, I think the machine's going to serve us well in the long run. Just getting started on aerating as our first season, I think we're off to a good start, and it's very profitable, and there's only room to go up. Yep. Over the years we'll get to use that machine a lot more. But yeah, and some more closing thoughts real quick is somebody commented on our TikTok, and I said I posted that
hard worker.
The Scag Aerstorm is sick, and somebody said, yeah, it's very sick for $15,000, like joking. But if you think about it, the amount of money in the short amount of time, it's totally worth it.
So we paid for the Scag already from September 2023 to September 24 with only booking 7 jobs.
Yeah. And
the seeding, we already told you guys, is basically almost at the cost of the seed plus just a little bit, or else people wouldn't sign up for either service. Like they wouldn't sign up for our aerating side of it if they didn't get the overseeding. That's half of the 8. It's only 4, but we got, or 7, right?
7.
Yeah, 7 jobs total. And it paid for the monthly payments for 12 months.
Yeah.
So we could literally let this machine sit until next September, and it's paid for. We're going to pay the payment for it to sit there. And that doesn't even include using it in the spring or any more calls that come in this year.
Yeah, we're going to jump on it next year early. We were late.
We missed a bunch of existing clients who already signed on with the fertilizer, who already said, we'll sign up with you next year. We didn't know you did this. We'll probably have 30 to 40 of our 85, 90 lawn accounts next year for aerating. But that'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
How does she get so big and so heavy in such a short amount of time at 9 weeks old? But I think we're gonna go do this. Go to sleep, right?
Yeah. All right. Everybody have a good day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.